upward to the cloud, admitting all.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I'm super excited to be in this new Ulu Team Challenge on a very, very critical topic in my mind, which is inclusiveness, our own journey, our own responsibility, in a sense, to make this journey happen and to create a better workplace and a better world overall. So this is a journey to inclusiveness. And during that team challenge, which will last the coming 5 days, we will discover more about our unconscious bias. So today is day 1. And this is a live session, and I have the chance to have Patrick, my teammate, who is going to facilitate and make sure that there is a very smooth technical support to this session. It's a kickoff, but it's also an explanation on a few things. What is inclusiveness? What is diversity? What is unconscious bias? And also explain what we're going to do during that week, every one of us, to learn more. It's a first step. The key step is to be aware of how do we behave, and the gap between our conscious mind, which has some very strong belief, and we can say, you know, I am very open-minded, and what our unconscious mind is doing for us, which might be that we always go to the same type of people. So there is a kind of gap between both. So we will understand that better. And then every day of the week, I will send you some activities in the app to complete, to learn more. The idea of this step 1 is to learn about unconscious bias, to practice a little bit, and then there will be other steps to go deeper and deeper. So welcome to this team challenge. This will be between today and Friday, but it's a never-ending story. So let's share some material to help you follow. Okay, so step 1, becoming aware. And you have all seen this challenge. So again, thank you so much for joining. My name is Laurence Guerre-Joly. I am part of the Ulu team. I have been more than 30 years in the business as a senior executive, traveling the world and facing multicultural environments, having been living in Europe, living a long time in the US, and also in ASEAN, in Singapore. And I had the chance to discover mindfulness a few years ago and to teach it as a volunteer into the organization I was belonging to, which was IBM, so a vast, large organization, and the opportunity to practice mindfulness in all the ways you can imagine during our daily life. One of them was actually driving me to discover more about unconscious bias, and it was a real wake-up call that I want to share with all of you. Out of that, I am also a wife and a mother of 2, and I'm passionate about nature. I am passionate about horse riding, trekking, you know, the Western style. I have a boy with handicap, so I'm also supporting all the causes about disabilities. And I really hope that I can help you get to know yourself better and become a great advocate and a great action person about inclusiveness. So let's go a little bit in the meat of what we're going to talk about. It's important to make some definition always. We talked about a journey to inclusiveness. This is a very hot topic, especially in the US, also in Europe, and it's also becoming more and more important in many parts of the world, including in Asia, for many, many reasons. And we will discover, you know, in the coming days. diversity, it's, how we mix people with different backgrounds in the same team, in the same organization, and, that we have different type of people, being regrouped together and making sure that an organization is diverse with various people. Inclusiveness is a bit different. It's more into the action. We will see that more in detail later. How does that happen? But it's all the behaviors that, make us do everything possible to have this diverse team, these people with different perspective and background, to be able to step in, to have a voice, to feel encouraged, to feel invited to contribute for who they are, for how they are, with all their richness. And it's not that easy, as we will see, because of this unconscious bias, who are sometimes a barrier to real inclusiveness. So inclusiveness is the key. As we will see, you can build a diverse team and invite them to a ball. But the key is to make sure that these people will be invited to dance at the ball, to be part of the action. What diversity and inclusiveness, is actually looking for, is to create this sense of belonging. All the psychologists and all the medical, domains have told us that every one of us, deep inside, we want to be wanted. We want to be loved. We want to be felt as useful to the community. And we want to connect with people. We want to create relationship. That's part of, how we can live well and even live longer. So the sense of belonging is amazingly important for life, but also, of course, at work. When we belong to an organization, when we feel we belong to an organization, we are able to give more of us. And if it's an inclusive, organization, we give everything we have that differentiate me from my colleague, because I have a different background and I can provide my own experience to better innovate, to better create, to create a more vibrant workplace. So job and life satisfaction is the outcome of all of this. That's why it's so critical, because it's our own life and we spend so much time at work, but it's also the success of the organization, success to create, to differentiate, to grow, and to have a real impact in a society, a positive impact. So all of this has been backed up by science, including the fact that, mental health and physical health are improved, increased when we are in a, of course, life satisfaction, but by this sense of belonging. So that's what we are all looking for. Diversity, again, allow, when you create a diverse team, you have a good representation inside a team, but also you represent much better the client that you serve, for instance. So it's very key to make sure that a team is diverse for all the richness that is providing, and the diversity of thinking. We all know that if we have only identical people with the same background, there will be less chances to create, and to innovate in our organizations, but also in our life. If everybody in a group of friends is exactly the same, it has its advantage, but it also prevents us to discover new things. So diversity of thinking, and it's of course connected with a growth mindset. And the motivations improve because we feel, we are part of a diverse team, and if we have specificities, we will find some other people who have the same, instead of being alone in a group that looks different. If we move to inclusiveness, as I was saying, inclusion is being asked to dance. Inclusion is, I feel so good in an organization that I don't even wait for somebody to ask me to dance, it's a quote from a famous, a famous researcher. I will myself start to invite people to dance. I will take initiative So here we go into what do we need to develop in people, mind, in their skills to become more active in creating an inclusive workplace. We will review briefly, the first few ones, but the key, as you see, is that awareness and mitigation of our unconscious bias is one of the critical success factors to really create an inclusive environment. So these are more the qualities or the skills that we need to develop that we are going to talk about. The first one might seem obvious to you, but my experience is that it's always important to remind everyone again and again and again that it starts by us, ourselves. This image about a plane, if you need oxygen mask, you need to put the mask on yourself before you can help others. So it's very difficult to be open-minded and even to go deep inside ourselves to try to identify our unconscious bias if we don't like ourselves, if we don't do anything for ourselves, if we don't care about ourselves. So having the positive image that we can build about ourselves, and there are many other sessions to learn about that, but as we are, because if I can accept myself as I am, it will be easier to accept people as they are. So it's all about, being mindful about the negative self-talk, for instance, that we have about ourselves. It's also accepting that we cannot be perfect. It's okay to do mistakes. It's okay to not feel guilty and forgive ourselves because we need to move on. And we don't want to waste our energy in guilt, feeling guilty. So, and the last one is, of course, giving ourselves the opportunity to learn new things, to try new things, to explore and experience new things. It's helping ourselves to develop our growth mindset. And that's extremely connected with going into an inclusive set of action. That's part of having a growth mindset, which means I can learn anything. I am not defined by my birth. I am not defined by my DNA, by my genes, by what my parents told me. We are not a musician family, so you will never play music. If I hear that for 15 years, difficult to overcome. It's deep inside. I am not a musician. I will never be able to learn it. And I am not interested by people who are musicians. I even believe that musicians are lazy. They think only about their music, not about work. You see, it's kind of things that happen in our mind. So growth mindset. The next one that is extremely useful to develop as a skill, and we can develop this as a skill, is emotional intelligence. So this ability to regulate, to identify first and regulate our own emotions and understand the emotions of others. And it can go very far. I am angry. I'm very angry. Well, first I realize I am angry. Do I want to be angry? Do I want to create cortisol in my body forever? Stress, which is a stress hormone that is hurting me for hours? Or do I want to stop this, acknowledge it, because we are human beings, we have emotions, but maybe try also to understand why am I angry, and have a better vocabulary, more detail about the why. Like when you say, I don't feel good, what does it mean? Do I feel sad? Is it anxiety, concern? So we go deeper. When we have this, we can also help people to be more aware of their own emotion, and we can certainly have a better collaboration, communication, and all of this that you see on that slide. But the few key points at the top of this list are critical to help developing an inclusive environment, an inclusive workplace, and being inclusive as we build an organization. So, I had these pictures because it's always good to remind ourselves that, you can start looking at this and maybe you have already some of your own unconscious bias that are popping up. Who is the boss in that picture? Who is that blonde lady? Why is she smiling? Is she trying to seduce the guy in front of her? Or maybe at that time she's explaining a mathematical algorithm, right? So we always project things in our mind when we see these kind of pictures of people at work. And the good thing is if you start looking at your environment or at magazines or at movies and try to work on your unconscious bias, it's going to go very fast to reveal a lot of them to yourself. And then you can maybe catch them more easily as you are in the workplace. What is happening? What are unconscious bias? So these are stereotype and judgment, behavior that we attribute to others, to other groups who are different from ourselves, but we are not aware of it. Let me tell a story. When I was about 35 years old, I had 2 young kids. I had been already, more than around 15 years in the office. I was a manager, first line manager, and I was supposed to go to a second line manager. And there was a perfect job that was open for me in an industry I knew very well, very, very well. All the clients I knew, the team was supporting me. They were actually expecting me to take that job. Well, I face, a boss who is discussing with me, and we are discussing that. And this person is a good person, and completely sure of himself, that is open-minded, that is trying to help women to progress in the office, and so on and so on. So this is what he's saying when he's talking openly. But we are in the office talking to each other in his office. And I can see as a concern, but I cannot fix it. I don't understand exactly what happened. But I understand that I won't get the job, and that a boy will get it, a man will get it. So, at that time, I was not aware of this unconscious bias. He's telling me nice things, but he's still not giving me the job. And his reason for not giving me the job is that he said, you look so young. I was like, okay, I look so young, so what's the point? So he didn't have any argument to tell me other things but you look so young, so like I want to protect you. But typically underneath, he had this unconscious bias, that it was a second line, job, very key. I had 2 young boys, and one of them had, severe, physical problems, and it just didn't feel that I was going to perform. So he had, he was not aware that something was stopping him, to go ahead and do what everybody was expecting him to do. So what is happening is in our brain, it's separated in few layers to simplify it. But we have this, survival brain, and also this subconscious mind, where we have stored everything, our attitude, behavior, experience, belief, everything that has been built since we are born. And of course, it serves us a lot. We face 11 million, information comes to our brain every second. We can deal only with 40 of them. So our brain is helping us in many ways. We can drive while talking on the phone and watching the kids at the back. We can go downstairs with a coffee in mind and talking on the phone. All of this is handled by this part of the brain. But they also, trigger and react on many, many things that we are not aware of, that concern other people, other groups, with other backgrounds. And so they are very fast to make us think and have a reaction in front of someone, which can be even opposite to our belief. I like to work with people from many cultures, but guess what? If I watch, I discover that, my team is entire white male above 40 years old. So this happened all the time, and we all have unconscious bias. We all have that. We just need to become more aware so we can mitigate them. So it's not about curing it, it's about caring about it and allow us to respond instead of to react. And that's absolutely possible. That's just work on ourselves to become more and more aware of this unconscious bias and to decide how I'm going to respond to a situation. Okay, if I am a manager and somebody in my team who is a man is asking, could we review my salary? Because I'm not sure it's right vis-a-vis the market. We say, yeah, of course, I'm going to see it. Then it's a woman asking the same, and the reaction will be more about, oh, I thought you were good. Okay, and then, wow, suddenly you realize you didn't react the same way. Why? Okay, so that comes with some work, and that's why we're going to talk about also how to work, and one of the tools is mindfulness, but that's happening all the time. So we can work on this unconscious bias. So what are they? The most common one can be physical, gender, age, or religion, it can be height, weight. Believe it or not, when I was working on unconscious bias, I learned something, for instance, on this most common, one, and height. So it was a professor at the NYU who was doing a presentation about unconscious bias. It was maybe 4 years ago in New York. And it was a ha-ha moment in the room for the senior management. Height. Do you know that, if I remember well, only 15% of the American men are more than 6 feet tall? Only 15%. But if you take all the CEOs in the US, 60% of them are more than 6 feet tall. There is a belief, an unconscious belief that if you are tall, you are stronger. And I smile, and I see Patrick smile, because I had at some point my own manager, and I couldn't believe it, was telling me the same. He said, I'm too small, I'm too short, and I will never, keep growing in that organization because I am too short. And I was like, come on, you are so smart. But yes, the facts, and what I'm saying is, there are 3 PhD researchers from different universities who have done this study. Okay, so we all know that. We just have also to acknowledge it, because I'm sure as I speak that you already think about maybe some thoughts, behavior, or choice you made. Even, and I'm saying even on a movie or going to see something, or on some people and so on, we react instead of, we respond consciously, depending on what we see. My accent, when I arrived in the US in 2003, this was the French-Iraqi war, the Iraqi war, and the French didn't want to go, so I had already a lot of unconscious bias inside the people I was talking to, because I was French. But in addition, my accent was probably very, 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 very French, much worse than what I have now. And, I was working in the automotive industry in the US. So it was interesting to see, even in my, team, it was all US people, how they could see a French woman with a French accent in automotive sector. What is she going to do? Even if I had done before 15 years of working, in the automotive sector in France. So, it's all in our head. If we go deeper in unconscious bias, one of the key negative impact, it will make people hide. This professor of NYU told us that at that time they had made a study, and it was amazing, because they discovered that 70% of the white male who had answered the survey had, told in the interview that they were hiding something. They were hiding that they were going to have a third child. They were hiding that they were sick. They were hiding that they were playing rock and roll every Saturday night with a band. Things like that. And you can many examples. But so the richness of everyone, or the event that can be dramatic for people and they need support, were hidden because they were afraid of facing this unconscious bias that could impact their ability to work, to progress, to be promoted, to get a great project, to move to another location, and so on. 70%, can you believe it? So look at this list, about health, some illness bias, and it's one or the other. But we make judgment about illness at work, and most of them are unconscious. We can say, well, disabled people, yeah, of course can work, but deep inside, there is something that is telling us, never to put at the top of the pile a candidate that has a disability, because we believe we are not familiar with that. We don't know what they're going to do. It does not be part of our experience, but it's unconscious. So you have a gap. And I can tell you, knowing about disability, I see a lot of this. So moving forward, it has also a huge impact on organization, because as you can imagine, and that's what we are going to go deeper and deeper in the coming days. When you look at this cartoon, of course, everybody is the same. How can we have new ideas? So this is the bias of affinity, or affinity because you want people who are similar to you. Or on the other hand, conformity. Conformity is, oh, I join a group. It's a new job for me. I am in a new team. I don't know anybody. All look pretty much the same, and they all have the same opinion. I'm not sure I agree with what they are saying, but I will do like everybody else is going to do, because I want to conform and I want to be accepted. And again, I want to feel, that I belong. It's not how we innovate in the business. Another one here, confirmation bias. I believe in something. Unconsciously, I will search for every information, that will confirm that I'm right. Okay, so of course, then you can make decisions in the business that are not the right one, but you have, found a way unconsciously to find all the clues that are saying, yes, you are right to think this way. So that's things that we need to be aware of. Of course, we have a brain and we can keep working on our awareness. Meditation is one of them. And I will use this as one tool. Mindfulness and meditation can help, make the right and the left brain work better. They also awake these practices, our emotional intelligence, our imagination, our open mind, if I may, being more creative. And that's going to have a huge impact on first being aware of our unconscious bias, but also changing our belief, changing our subconscious mind, and becoming much more aware to new things. So talking about that, we mentioned that. So we will drop this analytical mind and we'll go deeper into our subconscious mind thanks to a meditation. Okay, so finally, what are we going to do during this challenge this week? It's going to be a short sprint, right? We are already day one, and take this as becoming aware and learn. There is many other material that you can find, but the key is at least to learn and become aware about it. So you will have to observe yourself and observing others. I will provide some selected videos that you can watch every day on this topic of unconscious bias. There are different ones, and then I hope it will motivate you to search for others. There are plenty. There will be a few articles to read, short article, and some have also other resources, so you can keep learning. and from Huffington or Harvard and so on. There are many publications. There will be meditation that will be offered. You will use the replay of today if you want, or anything else. But learning to observe our breath, because it will be a breath mindfulness meditation, the simplest one, is allowing us to learn to teach our brain to create this space in our brain to learn how to be present and aware and mindful. Sharing the findings, of course, on the chat. Don't be shy, about yourself, about what you found. And that's the way to continue to learn. When we write something, we take notes, and also to encourage others to keep learning. So encouragement is welcome. So this is going to be the every day in the morning. You will find, for the European time, you will receive a list of to-dos, which means activities. There will be few of them, and you can use the full day to complete each of them at your own pace. And don't forget to indicate that you have completed, so you can then know where you are in your challenge, and it's allowing the team to help each other get the best of this week. You should have downloaded the app. You know where is the challenge. You will have task to accomplish, and you see here that you can just click here when you have done it. So it will be indicating that you have done the task, or you will be able to click it on a picture. And of course, you have a chat where the task will arrive and where you can comment, all your findings, encouragement, and congratulations to everybody in the team. So it's a team effort. That's why we call it team challenge. So we get encouraged to do our task when we see that pretty much everybody else has done it. Okay, I will take 10 more minutes and just do it. And after a few days, you will have a much better understanding of yourself on the unconscious bias standpoint and others. Few tips: commit to invest in yourself, share, we talk about this. You can revisit the kickoff material. There will be a replay posted after this call, a replay on the presentation and a replay on the meditation. And again, all of this is to learn. Learning is a great investment. So it's to celebrate each step that you do. It's helping you in that journey to inclusiveness. Few things about yourself. The key is to acknowledge your bias as soon as you realize them. So it's an effort, and it's to be, clear and open with ourselves. We all have unconscious bias. We all have them. They were built since we are born. So don't beat yourself because you discover, oh, I have an unconscious bias in something. It's okay. It's already a victory that you identified it through example during your day and so on. Acknowledge them, take note, and move on. And you can ask people around you to call on your biases. You probably have friends or colleagues, so you can talk to a few people. Ask them to just raise the hand and alert you when they believe that you made a strange decision, because they probably have different unconscious bias. But it's good to have people who can help you, find this. All right. So a lot to digest. And to help do that, we're going to move to the meditation section. And after the meditation, Patrick will be here to answer any question you have on the app, on how to get where, so it will be a time for question. So we will take a little more time than the 45 minutes, but that's worth it, and you can get all your answers. So guided meditation, I will guide a meditation with some music. And so you can go inside and start to digest everything you heard before. We are doing breath mindfulness meditation. It's a very simple one. You can already start to sit comfortably. You can be comfortable in a chair, on a sofa, on the floor. You can take back support. The key is to be comfortable. You don't need to be a yogi at all. it's the position where your body will distract you the less. Okay? So take your eyeglasses off if you have them, and you can clasp your hands, fingers into fingers. You can also cross your feet if that's comfortable at the ankles. The idea is to create a circle of energy inside. Okay, and you will close now your eyes. So keep your eyes closed, and you will only have to observe your normal breath for the full duration. Always go back to the breath. And if you have thoughts distracting you, it's okay, no judgment. It's fine, just let them go gently and go back to your breath. Don't set any goal. Every meditation is a nice meditation, is a good meditation. Just, let go. So I will play the music. Keep your eyes closed and try to relax the body as much as you can. Dear friends, sit comfortably, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Start by focusing on your feet, grounded on the floor. Visualize them, feel them. Then move your attention to your knee, to your legs. And kindly thank them for carrying you all day long. Then go slowly up your spine. Visualize your lower back. And then move up slowly, slowly to your neck. Relax the shoulders. Take your time. Relax once and twice. And fix your attention to your face. 40 muscles. Just let go. Your forehead. Relax the cheeks. The eyeballs. Relax the jaw. Relax the tongue in the mouth. Keep your mouth closed. Try to feel your heart beating in your chest. Listen inside. Your heart beating 24/7. The core of all emotions. Of compassion and care. Now, dear friends, let's move to breath mindfulness meditation. Just be with your breath, your normal, peaceful breath. Your breath is your best friend, always with you, wherever you are, days and night. If it helps, you can focus your attention to the tip of your nose, feeling the air coming in a bit cooler and coming out a bit warmer. At this stage, the only thing moving inside you is the air flowing in and out of your nostrils. If arriving thoughts are distracting you, that's okay. Just notice them and move them out kindly. Then bring back your attention to your breath and do that again and again and again. Be with your breath, dear friends, as we meditate all together. We are doing the activity of just being. Allow yourself to forget everything about your life, to forget everything about yourself, and just be an observer, a witness of your breath. Be with your breath. And allow your breath to slowly and slowly become lighter and lighter. As your mind is getting more quiet, try to notice if you can feel some emptiness inside you and all around you. And stay with your breath. As you become one with your breath, allow yourself to go beyond your body, to go deeper and deeper into this emptiness inside you. Where there is nobody, where there is nothing, no place and no time. Emptiness is energy. Your energy is limitless. You are part of this field of energy of infinite possibilities where you can connect with everyone and everybody else. Now, dear friends, keep your eyes closed. You're going to pick up one person you want to be grateful for today. A family member, a colleague, a friend, a stranger. And send them all your gratitude. wish this person health and happiness and abundance. And let this feeling of gratitude fill your body, your heart, your mind. Stay with your breath and this feeling of gratitude all over you. And you can smile. Whenever you are ready, reconnect slowly with your body. You can put your hand on your eyes and count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the energy inside and welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a peaceful meditation, depending on where you are. Morning, afternoon, evening. This mindfulness tool, this meditation tool, is helping us again to build our awareness, to allow us to live a mindful life, and also to go deep inside ourselves and help reprogram our belief. So with that, I'm going to share the screen again, and I'm going to turn to Patrick and invite anybody who has a question. Sorry about that. I need to put that back. Okay. About how to use the tool. So of course we will see all of you in the app, and we of course wish you an amazing week in this team challenge. Don't be shy to share your emotion, your questions, your suggestions, and if you have questions, it's time to raise the hand. Thank you.
Thank you, Laurence, and a big thank you to all you joining today. I was definitely thinking about you all in the practice when we were sending gratitude. Hopefully you felt it. If there's any questions about the app or the program itself, do either put it in the chat or unmute yourself. And if there's any questions for Laurence as well about the topic today. If not, don't think that you're alone, and there's not different opportunities to raise questions or comments. We'll be active on the app for sure.
Right. Okay, I will thank again everyone. This replay will be available. Thank you for your comment in the chat, and I wish all of us an amazing, team challenge. Working with each other to improve the workplace, but the world, and to also get to know ourselves better. And with that, have a great end of the day, a great night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome again in this Ulu Team Challenge. Thank you, and thank you, Patrick, for your support during this session. We're going to stop the recording now. Thank you.